Hello class, we are coming now to our assignment number 3. That is a server cabinet. It's an assembly that we need to do in Fusion 360, correct? So you're going to find this PDF there under your assignment number 3. It has every single one of the dimensions that you need in order to create first the assembly and then the drawings, right? It's very straightforward. If pretty much is an exercise of creating a sheet metal parts, put them together, and then you will be able to create your drawings, right? So at the end you're going to have something like this. It's going to be this server cabinet in here. Pretty much if you're creating the lid, the base, it is going to be mirrored. You need to create only one of these and you can pattern that, and you need to create only one of these covers and then you can mirror the other one to the opposite side. That's how we created all this since the beginning, right? So the important thing here since the beginning is to create the rule for the sheet metal, right? So everything is going to come from that rule. If you are not putting that rule since the beginning, then you won't be able to create the first parts in here. Remember that when we are working with sheet metal, the rule is going to come here from how you are configuring your different parts on the sheet metal, right? So I believe you already know that from your past courses and exercises, but if not, make sure that you're going to create your sheet metal root from here. So in here the rule that I am using is aluminum. You can see that from here. If I need to see how that is working, we can always edit that in here. This one is going to be in aluminum, right? And depending on the process that you're using in here, the thickness, we're using inches for this exercise, and the thickness that we are going to use for this exercise, it is going to be showed in here, right? 0.125. That is the rule we're going to use for the sheet metal on our exercise, correct? So that is the first thing you need to do. I created, based on my rule, the different parts, right? Then I mirror this, the holes, and I am working right now on bodies, correct? And then we are creating the flaps in here, the other flap, the hem. Then we are creating the different elements that they are going to give us the parts of my assembly. I am creating in here one of the sides, then I am mirroring the other side, then I'm creating different planes in here, and I am going to start creating the different shelves, right? And then the shelves, they are going to be mirrored, correct? And then we're going to pattern those shelves, and I am going to pattern this one as well, correct? So as you can see, this is an assembly and it has different elements in here that they are going to show you how to create your different drawings. Now there is a another configuration other than the sheet metal rule that I used in here, right? So I am using this one, and I am giving the 0.125 with a K factor of 0.44. That should be enough to create all these that you have in here. Then we will need to create a animation, right? If we're creating an animation in here, then you will be able to create like an exploded view. Okay, so if I go back to 0, what you need to create in here is a transform component. So you're going to select a component, and then you will start moving this, and okay. Then you're going to select another one in here, and you're going to move that backwards, and okay, right? This one, we're going to move it probably like that, and we will okay it, and so on, right? So you are creating in here the exploded view of your design for everybody to understand how this is getting assembled on real time. Probably a last one for this, and a little bit outwards, right? And there you go. So if I am using this as my exploded view, this view is going to be very different than the design. The design is going to remain like all together, whereas the animation view, it is going to be like the exploded view. Why is this important? Because when we are creating our drawings, I am going to use both of the views right on here. So the first thing I need to create is my drawing, correct? So I need to see what is the definition of my drawing. I am using an A. A, that means it's going to be an ISO, right? How do we know that? Well, we're going to do that again for you to understand the difference. When I am creating my drawing in here, I want that to be an A, right? So I am going to change this to ASME, and that is an A. If I am using an ISO, that is not going to give me an A straightforward. It's going to give me variations of that A. So those are different systems in order to show your drawing depending on what they are asking you to do. So I need to change to ASME, and I'm going to use an A, right, in landscape. So I'm going to create this one, make that okay, and here comes my drawing now, right? So you can see that I am using now the A size of the sheet. For the assembly itself, they are using a B format, right? So Enrique already got this one on A. How can I modify that now? Well, you can always edit that on here and change that to B and okay it. So it's a little bit bigger now, the element that you're showing in here. And if you need to modify something that you see on here, probably the size, you can always edit your title block, right? So if you right click and edit your title block, you will be able to modify in here everything that you feel that needs to be modified, right? So you can modify from existing, you can create a new, or you can upload the DWG file that you already were using on AutoCAD. Anyhow, let's going to leave it as it is. And then you can create in here the different views of your cabinet. In here, the whole cabinet is coming, right? So you can see here the front. So I am going to project the right and the top, right? And let's see, the scale that we are using in here is a 110. So I will need to change that here to 110. And I am going to place it like that. That is my front view. Then I am going to just project my views, and then I will try to modify this as much as I can, right? There you go. I have my front, my right, my top, and then I am going to create another base view. This time I don't want the model, I want the storyboard. The storyboard, remember, is the exploded view that we created. I am using a 1/16. Probably my exploded view is, I went so far creating that like with a lot of explodes. And here you can always modify that if you're going back to your animation here, right? You don't want that to be that exploded. You want that to be a little bit less of a space, correct? So let's try it like that. Going to our design, going to our drawing in here. Let's see if I can make it a little bit more, make more sense. Well, it seems, there you go, something like that, right? So I am going to put the places like that. On yours, try to make it a little bit more closer. You're going to have better chance to accommodate all your pieces together, right? And we're putting the all the elements in here. There is some detail views that you will need to see here on your server cabinet, like this, the detail view, right? So they're using a detail view scale 1 to 5, and they are just giving you in here the detail. The detail in here on the top view is that there is a space in here. So not much to say about that, but there is in here like a part table. You have two sides, you have two top and bottom, and you have 4 shelves. All right, 3 shelves, I'm sorry. All right, now from the side in here you can use an A. So we're going to click on plus, and we're going to change that to A, right, by changing the size like that. And you can place in here the view of your A. And this one is going to be the front and the top, and then the isometric, okay, in a scale of 1 to 10. So we can place in here 1 to 10, and the front is going to come here. Then you will need to project the top. There you go. Try to accommodate this as much as possible, or probably you might want to change the size of your title block in here, right? Another part is to create the isometric. You can create the isometric of the part of the side only. You just want to show in here the side, right? So in this case you will have to play with what is the best way to approach that one. Now on these views, let me cancel this, we'll jump on this one. On these views you don't want to show everything, right? You don't want the top, you don't want the shelves, you don't want the cabinet per se. You just want to have the side, correct? So you don't want this. Oh, well, yeah, we want this. We don't want this. We don't want this. And we don't want that. So this one, we will have to change it to right. And that's what you're going to have here, right? And so on, guys. So you will see how to create all your different projections. You can project this to be isometric view, and then you will click on plus and create the views for the flat pattern of the site, right? How do you create a flat pattern? Well, click on plus, and then on here, once that you created your flat pattern of the views, different views that you have here, let's say that I want to show the flat pattern of my of this part that I am using, right? How can I create that one? Well, you have your rule, you have your different parts of your document in here. The only way that you will be able to show the flat pattern is if you open this one as a different part. Okay, so we're going to jump on this one differently. You will need to open this as a different part, right? And then you are going to create the flat pattern from the sheet metal. Okay, so by creating the flat pattern, you will have this one showing, right? You can add that one to your drawing, correct? So try to do that as well. So we're putting the view, trying to get the model, trying to create the flat pattern, correct? But my advice for you would be to create first the 3D models, and then you can create, once that you have your flat patterns, you can create your drawing from here. Okay, so if I go here and create a different drawing, I will be able to see here that I need an ASME, I need an A. I will create in here the drawing for that one specifically. And the flat pattern is coming here. So I will try to go 1 to 10. And here it is, my flat pattern. Okay. Now you can annotate this one from here. From notice that we are using different files in order to accommodate first the 3D models in here with the cabinets, and it's going to be a second file that it is going to show the flat patterns. So if I need the flat pattern from the top, that will be a third file. If I need a flat pattern for the shelves, that's going to be a fourth file, which is going to be the flat pattern for the shelves. At the end, you are going to upload to your assignment number 3 on the server cabinet. Okay, we're going to upload the assembly files. That can be only the link that you can pull from here. I can download that one. If you're sharing your link from here, you know how to do that. You just share file link in here and give me that link on the assignment. But the from these files that you will create on here, you can export that to a PDF. So you will have to export the PDF for the 3D solids, and you will have to export the PDF for every single flat pattern that you are creating on the Fusion 360. Okay. Well, good luck. You will have till March 17th, midnight, to deliver. And all the best, guys. It's already open for you to work on this one. I will see you around. Thank you very much.